Hi guys, we're going to be talking about my clients' sun, moon, and rising. They have a sun in Leo in the 12th house. They have a moon in Aries in the 8th house, and they have a Virgo rising. So the way that this reading is I'm just going to talk a little bit about it, and then we're going to pull cards. But to have your sun in Leo in the 12th house, Leo suns, so the sun is on the outside of you. Boom. This is who you are on the outside, okay? And then the moon is who you are on the inside, your internal self, okay? Your emotions and all that kind of stuff. Your outside is your personality. And then the rising sign is who you are or how everybody perceives you first glance. So I like to say that your rising sign is how everybody sees you, like in the job interview, or how everybody sees you your first day of work. Okay, first impressions is your rising sign. It's also how you put yourself out there for other people to see. So hopefully I get this right, because last time I actually filmed like 10 minutes of this already and I got your moon and your rising mixed up. So let's just talk. Okay, so the sun, your Leo sun, Leos are fire energy, and Leo sun in the 12th is basically, the 12th house is your spirituality. It is your transformational house. It's the house of, it's also the house of wrongdoings. It's the house of lessons. And to have your Leo in that, it's kind of like I see it as intuitively, I see it as a blow to your ego, okay? So I feel like when you have a lot of transformational things happening, when you have a lot of spiritual things happening, spiritual lessons happening to you, it is a little bit of a blow to the ego. Now, the other thing that keeps coming up that Spirit keeps telling me is that you have a very, two different moods, like heavy mood swings. One mood is you're very confident in yourself and you're sure of yourself and things. And then the other mood is like when things are thrown off kilter, when you are kind of experiencing, like when you're experiencing a lesson that you have to learn, it's kind of hard for you, or it'll set you off in a way, okay? Because it doesn't go according to plan. And so what I'm feeling here is for the Leo sun, is that you love to be, you love to be the center of attention. You're very confident. You have that energy to you. You love to know about yourself. And that was the big deal that I was making in the first video, is you love to know about yourself. It's like you want to learn as much of you as you can, okay? So you want to know all about who you are, why you do this, why you do that. You love to hear about yourself. You love to hear about your personalities and this kind of thing, which is why, you love to get readings. You've been a client of mine for quite some time. And so, I thought that was kind of funny when I was looking into that. I was like, oh, no wonder this person likes to, to get readings on this kind of stuff, because they love to hear about themselves. It's almost like you love the check-in. You love the spiritual check-in. You would prefer going to a spiritual doctor than you would a real doctor. That's how I see it. It gives you a boost in your ego. It gives you a boost in confidence and that kind of thing. Your moon being in Aries, to have an Aries moon, you also have a fire sign in your moon. Fire and water do not mix. And moon is water energy. To have your moon in Aries really makes me feel, again, like opposing viewpoints, opposing opinions, opposing emotions. And a Leo sun, I feel like for you, it's very freaking hard for you to show your inner self, who you really are. It's really, really hard for you to cry in front of people in public. And when you do, or if you do, if that ever happens, it's almost like you're living a nightmare. You don't want people to see your shittier side. You don't want people to see your soft side. You don't want people to know that you are vulnerable. You like to put on the face of being, I got all my shit in control. The fact that your moon is in the 8th house, which is also, it could be like the occult kind of stuff, but it's death, it's transformation, it's sex, it's other people's money, that kind of stuff. Do you have your moon in there? It just tells me like a lot of lessons emotionally, okay? A lot of lessons there, and also to be emotionally connected to your lover in a sexual way is very important for you. Um, the other thing that I was making note of is that you have like a telly list. That was another thing I was saying in your last video, is that you have a checkoff list, a mental one, where you, when you meet someone, it's like you check them off. Do they meet this person, do they meet this, do they have all of these things before I can let you into my heart? I feel like that's what you do. I also feel like you will put on the face and you will have, you know, the mask on and everything up until the very end. You will not let anyone in, and just anyone in. You will not let anyone in to see the true you. So you're very protective on your outside layer, and your inside layer, you're also very guarded. To have an Aries moon, I always feel like that is people who are just very tough. They are very tough on themselves, but they are also very tough when it comes to revealing their emotions. They are not like for me, I'm a crybaby. I have a Cancer moon, so I'm like water energy there up the ass. I cry for everything. But for an Aries moon, I feel like it's very hard for you to let things go. I feel like it's hard for you to let go of grudges. I think it's hard for you to just let your emotions out. Just to cry, it's hard for you, and to express those things. I also feel like there's a little bit of a stubbornness to you when it comes to your feelings and all of that. Like, you won't be the first person to say I'm sorry. It's like you deserve an apology. You are going to apologize to me. You are going to see it my way. You know, I feel like that is also a lot of energy that you deal with too. The fact that you got the transformation house, it's in the 8th and the 12th house, heavy spiritual houses, psychic, okay? So you do have it. But I also feel like you have to really soften yourself to feel it, because you have such fiery energies in those houses. I also feel like because you have those houses, like your sun and moon, which are like complete opposites, I feel like you're constantly dealing with the pull and the tug of your spirituality. You're learning a lot about yourself spiritually. You are dealing with a lot of lessons. I think a lot of past life stuff has to do with your spirituality. I think a lot of your present life lessons are spiritual. It has to do with a lot with that. I think it has to do a lot with undoing yourself. Like I just got the image right now of like someone untying the laces, okay? And I was seeing like the laces over your heart. And so I'm seeing it as like Spirit is saying like you have to undo the laces to open up your heart. So I do feel like there's a lot of that. I know that I've done love readings for you, so I do know that love is an issue for you. Like you have a little bit of a struggle there with finding love and like maintaining love. Intuitively, I feel like that also has to do with the lessons that you're learning. It's all rolled up into one. But if you find yourself, if you are nodding your head when I'm saying like you have a hard time revealing your true heart, you know, to let people in, to show your true emotions and all of that. If you truly feel like you struggle with that, that can be a reason why it's so hard for you to invite love into your life, because you are very hesitant, and it's like, wait, do you meet my list? If you don't meet my list, then I don't want you in my life, you know. So I feel like that's kind of how you are. Your rising sign is in Virgo, so you have a Virgo rising, and your rising sign is all about first impressions. It is how other people view you when they first meet you. So think of it as when you go on a job interview, when it's your first day of work or your first day of school and you're meeting people for the first time. That is when your rising sign is coming out. That is what people are noticing first. So to have a Virgo rising, you come off as very smart and studious. You come off as very educated, very knowledgeable, nerdy, probably like the cute nerdy girl. You come off as well read, organized, you know, all of that kind of stuff. That is what the Virgo rising is like. Um, in the past, you know, when you were going to school and whatnot, people probably saw you as, like I said, the studious one, or they wanted to be in your group because they knew you did all your work. The smart one, you were getting done with your tests first, that kind of thing. And also just very organized with yourself, you know, put together. You would match your clothes, your accessory, you would accessorize your makeup matches, this and that, like all very well put together. Okay, that's how people view you. Little do they know, though, that there is a temper to you, or that there are massive mood swings to you, or that you are just, you know, you're not as well put together as you appear to be. So I feel like that is a big thing for you. It's actually a protection mechanism for you to reveal yourself as, I am put together, I am organized, everything's good, there's nothing going on with me, I am perfect. But then little do they know, on the inside, you have this Aries moon who's so stubborn. It's like, you got to let out the feelings, but I don't want to let it out, you know? And then you have like your Leo, your sun in Leo, where you like to be the center of attention and you like everyone to see you and you want to know all about you. But at the same time, you don't want everyone to know you, because you don't want them to know, like, deep down who you are and what makes you hurt and what you're vulnerable and all of that kind of stuff. So you are very, like, like back and forth. I do see that. So now that we got that out of the way, and I apologize. Well, I mean, you don't know because I had to stop the video anyway. Let's talk about your cards. I want to pull cards, and let me see. I don't know if this is going to screw up the video, but let's just try. I want to, okay. There we go. I want to make this long way so that we could see it. This way you can see the table. I want to pull cards about you. The main thing that I talked about is your inability to let the true you come out. To show your feelings, to show your heart, and letting other people in. Let's dive into that, because I feel like that's the big one. Oh, you got heavy cards. Intuition, sacrifice, and power. I've told you before, you're very intuitive. You got it. Making sacrifices, intuitively tapping in, making sacrifices, receiving power from it. So in the past, always making sacrifices, okay? Always doing things for other people. Always being the person to get your heart broken in relationships, or dealing with the shitty end of the stick in certain situations. You have a past of sacrifices, okay? In the present, we have intuition. In the present, you are being guided to follow your spiritual path, to strengthen that about yourself. So I know you are most likely already doing that. Trusting your intuition, trusting your sixth sense, that kind of thing is very important. Making decisions based on what your intuition is telling you is another key. And then in the future, we have power. You're going to outgrow a lot of the things that you are presently struggling with. You are going to outgrow a lot of these little insecurities. I see it as like little petty high school stuff. You will outgrow it and you will overcome it, okay? All of those sacrifices that you made in the past were not for nothing. They were for something. You will be learning that as you go. They've really molded you to be a certain way. Yeah. With justice and right below the sacrifice, it's like you've learned your lessons. Okay, with that, you learn from it. Intuition. And we have the Ace of Cups. Intuition is letting your heart flow. What were we just talking about right now with your signs? You needing to let your heart out, to allow yourself to let your feelings flow, to cry when you need to cry, to be unorganized when you need to be unorganized, to feel, you know, just to feel chaos. Sometimes you have to. Nothing can always be perfect. And then the King of Wands with power is power in itself. Power in your creative endeavors, power in your path, in the way that you are motivational, everything. There's a bright future for you, definitely is what I see for that. I love it. Let's pull on that Aries moon. Your Aries moon that causes you to be so hard on yourself with love, with your emotions, the way you feel. Heartache and loss. There was definitely discontent and boredom, deception and envy. There was definitely something heavy in your past. A relationship that went wrong. Someone mistreated you. 10 of Swords. Somebody mistreated you. Somebody, you know, lied to you. Cheated on you. Something like that. There was something rough. It damaged your heart. And what you deal with right now at the core, with matters of the heart, with the discontent and boredom, is telling me you outgrow people. It's because you settle for the easiest. You settle for the less difficult, challenging type of people because you know what to expect from these people. So it's almost like you settle for people that you're not really interested in, but you know that it's safe with them because they're not capable of, you know, overpowering you, or they're not capable of doing this kind of damage to you again. You won't open your heart to those people that truly intrigue you because you don't want to be hurt again. At least that's what I'm feeling. We have the 10 of Pentacles and the King of Wands again. King of Wands at the end could tell me with the deception and envy, 1, that you will overcome this. 2, that you have to overcome the past. So there has to be forgiveness on this point. If there was somebody that really deceived you, they lied to you, they cheated on you, overcoming that issue is by literally forgiveness. When you forgive them, then you can overcome it. So I do feel like your Aries moon, the reason why it's so hard for you to release your emotions is because you were hurt, because someone mistreated you, because somebody, you know, broke your heart. And you don't want to feel that again. You don't want to deal with that again. So since this is focusing a lot on love, let's pull on love for you. Now that we know the Moon, Seven of Wands, Page of Pentacles, King of Cups. So what's underlying, like what's coming? A new opportunity. Page of Pentacles is opportunities that are coming. Someone's, you know, making an offer to you. This could be someone asking you out. This could be somebody actually giving you attention in a different way. The Moon card is like the shadow card. It's also like what we were just talking about with the Aries Moon, okay? They're going to be opening an offer to you. Are you going to open your heart, your Aries Moon, and let them in? The Seven of Wands shows it's hard for you. It's a battle. It's like you're always fighting off these potential people because you don't want to be hurt. But the King of Cups in you is also saying, I want to love. I want to love. I want to listen. I want a conversation. I want someone who's going to, you know, sweep me off my feet. Because a King of Cups is like a gentle soul. It's somebody who is very like, wears their heart on their sleeve. Transformation. What were we just talking about of your houses? Transformation and spiritual transformation for sure. We have choose wisely. That's trusting your intuition. I also think it's a 7 and it goes with the 7 here. The Seven of Wands. Choose very wisely of the people that come your way. That's where your intuition comes in. That's where we were when we pulled about intuition. How you have to choose wisely. If you are not listening to the red flags, if you are not seeing them for what they are, then, you know, of course, you could let in a bad seed. But you also have to keep in mind when we are opening ourselves up to love that we do take the risk. It's like we welcome that possibility of that risk because that can happen anytime. And then we have the heartache and loss, which I feel like it's like it goes positive movement forward. I feel like the heartache and loss is like that reminder. Every single time you are thinking of letting someone into your heart, the heartache and loss comes up. It's like you were always reminding yourself, don't forget what happened before. Don't forget what this person did to you. Don't forget what it felt like to have your heart broken, that kind of thing. It's like always in the back of your head. But then we pulled positive movement forward, which is guiding you. It's like you're guided to the light. Positive movement forward is be confident. That's the sun, your Leo. Be confident, move forward, always move forward. Don't look back into the past, you know, and trust that if you make this decision because your intuition is telling you, do this, this is okay, trust it, then you can quiet all of this stuff and you can move forward. And don't have that checkoff list. If you really do, if you truly do have a checkoff list where any type of person that will walk your way, this is so-and-so, you know, I'm interested in you. And then you're like, well, you don't have this, or you don't do that, or you did this in their past. Don't pay attention to those things. Don't go based on what they did in their past. Go based on what your intuition is telling you. How does your heart feel about this potential person? Okay, I feel like that's the way you need to start approaching suitors if you're dating and, you know, opening yourself up to dating. I feel like you need to do that. I feel like you gauge it by your intuition and not by your checkoff list, because your intuition is what is going to tell you, yes, this is worth it, or no, pass. I feel like that's what you need to do. So hopefully that, you know, hopefully that helped, my love, because I feel like there's a lot of other issues, but I do feel like love is one of the hardest ones for you. I feel like letting love in is very hard for you. And then spiritual transformation too. But I also feel like they all kind of combine. Sacral chakra. your sexual energy. Prosperity begins. So do a meditation with your sacral chakra, okay? They have them on YouTube. You could Google it or search it on YouTube. Sacral chakra, cleansing, you know, strengthening or whatever. And do a meditation where you focus on that. Prosperity will begin from within. Trust yourself. Let the fire burn within your passion. Open up your heart. Let feelings out. Don't be ashamed if you cry. Don't be ashamed if other people see you cry or they see you in your weaker moments. And don't use that checkoff list. Start gauging things by your intuition. And you'll start to find love and you'll let love in. Everything will start to grow. So, my love, that concludes your reading. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope it answered questions. If it gives you something to ask me, please don't hesitate to email me. Let me know. And I wish you all of the best. And I look forward to reading for you again in the future. Bye, loves.